too much.
Hey, we are live. Hey. Good to see you.
Jordan.
See a bunch of people. Jordan is online. Are your siblings watching too? Or Jordan, are you just watching yourself? That's the big question everybody wants to know. Not really. This is for the homies.
Pour one out for the homes.
Well, no, that's not.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Oh, good catch.
I got it before it goes. Oh man, it almost exploded. Oh, yours was fine.
I had to catch it a little bit. Don't miss it.
We gotta have our. Yeah, I don't have a mouthful of basil to deal with.
Can you please do that?
How is everyone doing tonight? Memorial Day weekend. Do you have Memorial Day plans?
Yeah.
You do?
If it doesn't rain, I'm gonna go back into my backyard and build a
retaining wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you out there? You have any? Do you have any Memorial Day plans? We don't have Memorial Day plans. I think I'll probably try to grill something outside, like grilling. I did yard work on Saturday, so no yard work to do. So also not building a retaining wall because and I am not coming over to help you.
No,
Just not.
Just so the invitation does stand if you'd like to come.
Okay, well, then you get to watch my kids, or someone gets to watch my kids too. Anything?
I'm just kidding. It's
Yes.
great.
Yeah. Fam in town, grilling out. I'm gonna get some brats if they have any at the store. Apparently, one of the quarantine foods to sell out at Baker's is bratwursts. At least the ones I like, Johnsonville bratwurst. I get the beer brats. There's not, there's no alcohol. Don't worry. You can even buy them if you're under 21. So I think it's okay. But those are my favorite. I like those. Mm-hmm. We got our Dr. Pepper. Yes. We got a shorter stream here today because I'm sure people are gearing up for the day tomorrow and wanting to hang out with family. But we did want to say hi, and we are going to have a stream next week as well. But after that, who knows? Who knows what we will be doing? I'm not entirely sure. All I do know is that on the 8th, I'll probably have, or 8th, on the 7th, I'll probably have maybe a short little live stream or something. But I might not be able to do that. So on the 7th. So anywho, the 31st, which I feel like should be Memorial Day weekend.
Why?
So, because it's the last, it's the last Monday in May is Memorial Day. So this is the earliest it can be because June 1st is a Monday. So this is the earliest Memorial Day can be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, tomorrow is the earliest Memorial Day can be. That's a good shot of trivia for those of you watching in the stream out there. Hey, drop by and say hi if you're watching. Type it in. Say hello to Noah. He's here. I got my Frost Nation shirt on. Yeah. I still support him.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, he was dealt a difficult hand.
Yeah.
Someday I will be excited to be a Husker fan again. And who knows? Maybe we won't have football this year. Although I heard we probably will. I heard we might.
That'd be a bummer, dude.
That would be a bummer.
Was there the golf thing with Tiger Woods break?
Yeah, there was a golf thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that was today, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. I
don't know. It will probably. Thanks for raining on my parade, Jordan. It'll probably rain all day tomorrow. Ugh. That's me snoring. I don't know what it sounded like out there. All right. So welcome. Good to see those of you who are able to make it. I know we might not have a whole bunch of people tonight, but we're excited to see the people. But not the people from China. Actually, we invite all the people from China to watch this live stream. We do not discriminate. Hopefully the government of China watches this live stream. Yes, you need Jesus. Jesus. Yeah. Yes.
No.
Anyway, that's as political as I'm going to get tonight. I can still buy tickets. For what, Jordan? What are you talking about? What are we buying tickets for? I don't understand. Do you know what he's talking about?
No, I have no idea. It just made me think of something.
Jordan wants me to buy tickets for something. He's going to petition all of you to get me to do something, I think. Yes. To get Daddy to buy me some tickets. I don't know what he's talking about. Tickets? Like speeding tickets? I don't think you buy those. Husker games. Oh yeah, you can
Oh.
still buy tickets. You're right, bud.
Nice.
You can still buy tickets. Hopefully, we'll have some games. We got some darts here. That'll be fun in a little bit. What we're gonna do. So anyway, we got a Klein family story of the week this week. We got to share that always. Klein family story of the week. This one's a little bit heavier. It's a little bit heavier. Not as lighthearted. For those of you who want to have kids someday, listen. Okay. I love my kids very, very much. All of them. But sometimes it's a little bit hard. And this week, two times, I was up at 5 a.m. because of needing to wash some sheets. If you catch my drift. Yeah. And so I was exhausted, just exhausted. And even up during the night a few times. Shirley's tired too, and trying to get all the laundry done, and it just was hard. So Danielle twice this week woke up at 5 a.m, which is fine if they go back to sleep, right? I mean, it's like, 5 a.m, I can deal with the wet sheets, we can get them all settled in, go back to sleep. And no, and that's not how it works. 5 a.m, too close to 7 a.m, and so they're just up and ready to go. It's Daddy, I want to get out of bed. Daddy, I'm not talking. I just want to go back to bed. I want to sleep. Oh, so what did I do? Like a good father, I got up and gently loved them at 5. No, I know I didn't. I was as gentle as I could, but I was also frustrated and angry. So that's the human side. If you guys think that I don't get frustrated and angry, I do. They got up because, well, why get up? Because we're potty training Danielle, and she just kind of wet the bed a little bit. So that's just how it is. Nice, Sophia. Yes, they are guilty of resisting arrest, and they will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the Parenthood law.
Wow.
Yes, which probably means your toys are in timeout. That's what we do. Put them away in timeout. You no longer have any toys ever. That's not true.
Andy's not coming back.
That's not true. That's not true. So that's the Klein family story of the week. It's not as exciting as the other ones, but there you have it. I just wanted to be real for a little bit there. Get that off my chest, as it were. If I was like a perfect dad, I would have been very kind and loving and gentle. Spoiler alert, not perfect. But I am a dad, so I got half of it down. Yeah, got half of it down. So, yeah, that's the way it was. Hey, did you watch the kids answering questions? Were you able to watch that this week? You did not?
I was working.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Were you guys able to watch my kids that I love so much? And I do. That wasn't a joke.
No.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh at
sorry,
my kids. What's wrong with you? I'm just kidding. My kids got to answer some questions. Jordan's probably watching still. Jordan, in the chat, let them know how much you enjoyed that. He loves answering those questions. Hopefully, you guys got some good life advice out of those questions as well. Yeah, you guys did forget, but that's okay. God will forgive you, and so will my kids. I think. Apparently, though, Aaliyah thinks that the perfect example for a friend are the entire Slininger family.
Wow, that's high praise.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, the entire Slininger family.
That's awesome.
Oh, I think. All right. So, oops.
Oh no, name down.
So we got this going here. All right. Here we go. Noah's gonna not look. Don't look.
I'm not looking.
Pull it out. All right. Here we go. All right.
I got it.
You got it? All right. Read the name. It's going to be a shock.
Darcy
Bickle. Darcy Bickle with the win, the W. There it is. That's the name.
Really
I don't know if you can read that. Can you read that?
Focus.
I don't know.
Almost.
I'll
Okay.
pull it out. You might have to stand up and take it there. I don't know. You don't have
It's
to.
not worth that.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not. Here, let me see that.
There we go.
Darcy, you win. Woo! You win, and you will get your prize shortly. So I don't know if Labradoodle Darcy. Ooh, I said it right this time,
Elaborate reading of
is
the
watching.
Bible. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. We've got some party icons. We've got some dance icons. It's fantastic. We're excited. All right. Yes. Darcy with the win. And I'm making a paper football. Do you
Oh,
want to know something about my not so distant past?
Yes.
No, you don't, but
Yeah.
I'm going to share it anyway. This is a paper football. And when I think I've shared this story. I don't know if I have with you. Maybe. When I was approximately in middle school, maybe a little bit younger, I used to make paper footballs every Sunday during sermons. Just paper football, paper football. My goal was to break the Guinness Book of World Records for the amount of paper footballs somebody made. And I had a briefcase full. I mean, I must have had 1,000 paper footballs of various sizes. Some of them were this big, some of them were this big. So I was a paper football aficionado. Oh man, that would have been
That would have
cool.
been. I would have just let. That's just the dub right there.
That would have been cool, but
There's
it.
another one.
Dub. Yes. That's a teaser for this week's video. So I do have a video coming out this week. That is not my kids answering questions. So be on the lookout for that. Also, before we get into Noah and I's competition, if you look at our YouTube channel, I am starting to splice some of our question night stuff down and put them as videos on YouTube for you to peruse and search if you have questions about theology, the Bible, that sort of thing. And you can just look them up right there, or send a friend who has a similar question that YouTube video and get a response. So here's the question: when we get back together as youth group or whatever next year, and we have question nights, one of the questions I got these microphones now so you can hear, we can record it. Should we record question nights and put the videos of the answered questions up on YouTube in the future?
Yeah.
What say you, YouTube world? What do you guys think? The other question is, how active do we stay on YouTube once all this stuff gets back together? I don't think I have it within me to continue the weekly videos. I just don't think I have that ability to do that.
Yeah.
It's been kind of hard. It's been fun. It's been fun. Also, you can look at all of the skit videos all at once on a playlist on YouTube right now too. Yeah. So if you go up, you can see the progression of me by myself doing youth group, all the way to me singing about reopening the church to a Newsies song, and be like, this guy has gone patently insane during this whole time. This week, more Joshes. More Joshes. The world can't handle the amount of Pastor Joshes that are starting to multiply. This alone means we need to end the lockdowns. The world can't handle it. All right. I got to do a plug for the stew like I usually do, but one of the reasons I want to do the plug for the stew this week is because of this. You've seen Rhett and Link, right?
Yes.
And have you seen their hi Rachel, have you seen their deconstructing their faith videos?
Yep.
And then we also got Joshua Harris, that guy from Hillsong. There's just a movement, deconstructing faith movement. My podcast this week on Wednesday is going to be about, in general, those deconstructing movements and a common thread that I find in all of them, and how you can guard against that in your own life. So that's the goal. Don't move to California. Don't move to LA. Not all of them were in LA. Joshua Harris in Texas, I think, and the Hillsong guy in Australia, which has its own problems.
Spiders. That's the problem.
And koala bears.
What?
Although they're not bears, they're marsupials. Did you know that?
I did not. Look at the trivia we're getting today.
Yes. Yes. So, why aren't koalas considered bears?
Because I don't know. Their ears.
No, because they don't have the right qualifications. More dad jokes. All right. All right. So let us know what you think about doing question night when we get back together, having someone record that with a microphone on me and being able to put those things on the YouTubes. All right. So that's coming up with a stew coming up here. Weekly quarantine tips. We don't want to have any because we're starting to reopen.
Yeah.
Right. So just reopen responsibly. Wear a mask sometimes
Yeah.
when you're with people, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. Shout out to my wife who does Norwex stuff. Norwex has masks. So if you want a mask, go to my wife's Facebook and ask her for a mask. She'll purchase a mask and send it to you. And Norwex has microfiber technology. So apparently it's like antimicrobial or something. I don't know. I'm a horrible salesperson. Like, yeah, apparently it's good for you. I don't know. It's like when my wife does the elderberry syrup. You ever seen the elderberry syrup?
No.
It's like gross. But anyway, people take it to stay healthy, and sometimes she really wants people to take it, and I think, well, if this was so healthy, why are people still getting cancer? And she's like, that is not even fair. Don't even say that. Well,
It's a fair argument.
Yes. Build that straw man as much as I could. And backlock. That's true. I don't know what that means. Backlock. But apparently it's good. I don't know. It's good. My wife could share it. All right. So here we go. We are going to do a challenge. This is where these come in. These are finger rockets. All right. It's a thing. Thank you, Ariana. So here's the thing. So what happened was, since I've been doing all these videos, I bought one of those ring lights because I needed to put makeup on. And I'm just kidding. I don't put makeup on. Because I bought the ring light because I heard that was the best use for phones because it can put the phone in the middle of it. And on the product page, it was like, apply makeup easily with your phone with a ring light. And I was like, oh, cool. Not doing that. So anyway, we got these little rocket things. I'm going to shoot one. Woo! There it goes. So I got this ring light that's stationed over my laptop, and it's going to look like these are flying at you. We're going to shoot 5. We're going to rotate one each. Don't shoot it at me. No, my goodness. This isn't the punishment yet. Okay? We're going to shoot one each, and whoever gets the most wins. All right? Whoever gets the most wins. So, I suppose you should go first since you're it's like you're winning 5-1, I think. And maybe next time we won't have to do a double punishment. Maybe you just will get a punishment. My goodness. Jordan really wants you to get spoiled milk dumped on your head.
Oh.
I know. I told him, wow, that's rude.
Jordan.
That's kind of gross. All right. So we're going to do this. Here we go. We each have the same types. 3 of these red and yellow ones and 2 of these other ones that are less quality. All right. So I'm going to scoot away from the microphone and we are going to go for this. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Come on.
You guys are just going to have to trust us. Oh, what a horrible shot.
Dude, it's not starting off hot, man.
All right, here we go. Oh!
That was dumb.
That went through. That went through.
That was a great shot.
Yes.
Dude, darn it. My finger doesn't. All right, here we go.
Oh, now you're going to make excuses.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, does that count?
I don't know.
I think it did because it hit the computer.
I thought it was low.
You think it was low? Okay, well, we'll see.
I'm going to be honest.
Oh, that one was low. All right. It's making the computer.
Hey, come back. I got to aim higher.
All right. I'm going to switch to one of these now. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, here it is. Okay. I was looking at the wrong end. All right. Oh, went over.
That thing's gone.
My goodness.
All right.
Okay. Wait, how many have we done?
That was 3.
That was 3. So I got these 2 left.
Dude,
man.
Just nosedives, man.
Nosedives. I'm going to save this one for last. Here we go. Oh, missed.
Really?
It went up and around it. Yes.
I thought that was it.
I think I've made 2 so far.
No, you definitely have
1.
1? Yeah.
Okay, so are we both at 1?
No, because I missed mine.
I
have to nail this.
Oh, you got to nail this one.
I have to do it or it's over.
It's over.
Come on.
Oh, winner, chicken dinner. Oh, and 1 for good measure.
Demoralizing, dude.
Oh, man, I got to go fix that. All right. Hey, stop it. You can see the edge of the light.
Yeah. See ya.
All right.
That thing is gone. Wow.
Woo! All right, so I got 1. I thought we were going to do better than that.
Me too.
When we were practicing, we did better.
No.
Oh, I did better.
You did
Yes,
better.
I guess I did
not.
better. You did not necessarily do as
It's
well
just
as.
not like, that was well done.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
All right. All right.
Oh, no.
So I win.
You probably did it too.
I have two?
You did because you had one that went. My bad. I tried to cheat. I tried to cheat you.
Oh, I did have two. You see? All right. I won. That was wild. Yes, it was.
The first shot was beautiful, right in the camera.
Oh man, yeah, smacked it.
Shot.
I'll enjoy watching that back. I've not seen that. I won. I am the winner, and I will probably not make Noah get spoiled milk dumped on his head.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Probably won't.
Jordan, I'm a little hurt that you're leaving.
Although, hey, no frowny face.
Oh,
let's
sorry.
be happy about this.
Sorry.
This is what happens when you have somebody. This is completely. Oh man, it's completely biased. All right, thanks, Jordan.
Spoiled.
Oh man. All right. We're gonna head into this stuff here. Oof. Jessica Schaefer. Hi, Jessica. I don't know if I know you. Oh goodness. All right. So what are we going to talk about? When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent? Sophia just dropping the liners here. All right. Doug. D-O-U-G. Doug. All right. Let's get into some Memorial Day conversation. I just want to hit on the topics we've talked about over the last couple months because we have just covered a lot of stuff. 2 question nights. For those of you who have been through this all with us, I appreciate you. It's been worth my time, worth our time, and I'm so excited to be able to do this with you each week. But I really want to see your faces. All right, I really want to see your faces. So we have done 2 question nights. We've talked about casting our cares on God. We've talked about having a joyful disposition as we seek godly wisdom. We've talked about having an attitude of gratitude. We've talked about sticking to the truth, caring for others, true worship. We've had a Mother's Day conversation, and that's it. Because it says question night. I already talked about doing that twice. So we've done a lot of stuff over the last couple months, but I want to assure you, as much fun as we are having, we're having fun. And I realized right now that the camera has moved back because we shot those arrows into it. You want to get up and angle it back down here? Just because my hand is like going out of frame and it's bugging me just a little bit. There we go. That's fine. I don't know. That's fine. All right. Thank you, Noah. So, anywho, so we just talked about a lot, but I wanted to reassure everyone that we are not excited about having to do this every week. We'd love to see you people, and that just goes for me. I can't speak for Noah, but
I'm excited to see you.
All right, he is too. Yes. And so I just want to encourage you guys with a conversation here tonight. Memorial Day is coming up. And for those of you who don't know what that is, and I hope you do know what that is, but we'll talk about it briefly here. I was just talking about this with Jordan today as we were going to get lunch. That Memorial Day is the celebration for all those who have fallen in battle, right? Veterans Day is, and we could still honor the veterans, and I think we should on Memorial Day to remember what they've done. But Memorial Days are for those that have fallen in battle. And we just started listing off all of the battles that have, all of the wars that have our country has been through, not whether they are just or not, not going there, but just anybody who has volunteered to be a part of the armed forces has done so to guarantee the freedoms that we enjoy. And so a heartfelt shout out to all of you currently serving, and also just to anybody who has lost someone in battle, to anybody who has been lost in battle. I appreciate the sacrifices that people have made in order to make this country what it is. But this is not a political or an American. Well, it is American. It is not a political broadcast, nor is it it's a secular American United Statesian podcast about what we're talking about. So So as we talk about liberty in our country, I want to encourage everybody as they think about this that this is the freest nation in the history of the world. I mean, it really is. The Constitution is one of the greatest man-made documents ever penned. It is, and I will argue with anybody about that. And I don't want to get into a lot of politics right now, but I will just. That's why we talk about American exceptionalism being great. It's because of that, and not talking biblically here necessarily, just in the history of nation states, modern history of nation states. This one is the freest and most full of liberty of any nation in the history of the world. Now, of course, when Israel had the theocracy, they messed up and all that stuff. But and I'm not saying that God did a bad job of trying to of leading his people, but he was doing it for a different reason, not just to create a great nation, but to create the end of things, to create a great community of believers and people at the end of time. So it's not just about the physical nation of Israel, and Israel and God let Israel make their own decisions in a lot of ways, asking for a king, and God continued to stay with them, and then they violated the covenant over and over and had to be in exile and all that stuff. So why am I talking about this? Well, I'm talking about it because as we talk about our American liberty, I think right now we can start to confuse how we should exercise our American liberty a little bit with how we exercise our Christian liberty. And so I don't want to just talk about merely American liberty. I want to talk about Christian liberty. So maybe you haven't taken civics. You should take civics. And that's one of my favorite topics. Like, I could talk about it for days. But if you want to hear me wax poetic about civics sometime, I can do that. Just ask me, so what do you think? And then boom, there it goes. And you'll hear all the things. You can wait for a different time. I'm talking about our Christian liberty. And it primarily goes to the fact that I actually struggle with this a little bit in this time frame. I struggle with the idea of having to wear masks and having to socially distance and all this stuff. And so I have to take into account other people, not just myself, and what I think is right. So Galatians 5:13 says this, for you were called to freedom, brothers and sisters. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another. And I think this is an important reminder. You live in the freest country in the history of the world. You have been called to freedom in the freest religion in the history of mankind. Christianity is about the Christian liberty and the freeness of not having to feel the weight of eternal judgment anymore, because Jesus has paid for all of that. And so if you are a believer in Jesus Christ, and if you live in America, you're experiencing the most liberty as a nation, as somebody who's been involved in a nation, and the most liberty as a person, as somebody that's been involved in a religion over the history of humankind. So it's important to know how we responsibly exercise that liberty, because you can actually irresponsibly exercise liberty. You can do it selfishly, or you can, or you can not do it at all. You can hem in your liberty. So just listen to what he says here. Those you were called to freedom. So as Galatians called little Romans, because it's talking about that we have been called through freedom in Christ through faith in Jesus Christ. And our belief in him has released us from this bondage of sin and death. And so free in Christ. And as he talks about that, he talks about what it means to live by faith. And this is where living responsibly within our Christian liberty becomes important. Because the ironic thing about liberty, political or spiritual, and I'm going to focus mainly on spiritual here, is that maintaining that liberty comes at an expense of self. We're celebrating Memorial Day. Maintaining our liberty has come at the expense of people sacrificing themselves over history. Maintaining our Christian liberty individually comes at the expense of self. not just because um, we have to, but because in order to experience true freedom, we cannot be slaves to anything. And what happens when we just look at ourselves, and what happens when we just look at what we deserve, is we start to become slaves of the self, slaves of pride, slaves of arrogance, and slaves of sin. And that comes at the expense of liberty. Ironically enough, when we exercise our Christian liberty to suit ourselves, we are actually setting ourselves up for bondage. But when we exercise our Christian liberty to care for others, to serve others, we experience true freedom. Paul explains this in 1 Corinthians 6:12. He says this, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be enslaved by anything. All things are lawful, but not all things are beneficial, in other words. We will receive benefit from dying to self. And this is where it becomes a little bit difficult, because we have this Christian liberty and we have this American liberty. And if we don't take other people into consideration when exercising that liberty, we actually become slaves of self, and that actually puts us in bondage. The ironic thing about Christian liberty is we only truly experience it when we love and serve others. All things are lawful, but not all things are beneficial. In other words, yes, you can walk into a store without a mask on. I've done that. But is that beneficial for those around us? And I'm not just talking about health-wise, because I think there's a lot of mixed signals about whether or not the masks are helpful health-wise. But here's the thing: for someone's psyche, maybe seeing that will help set them at ease. I don't know. And so it's something that I've had to wrestle with a little bit in my mind as well. So when we seek to serve self because we want to do this thing, we end up being a slave to our own desires and our passions, and we then see people as an inconvenience. And while that might be something that is not counterproductive to a political way of thinking, it is something that is counterproductive to a spiritual way of thinking. People are not an inconvenience. People are scared still, depending on what news they're listening to. They're either scared or angry. And this is where we have a problem. Because when do we make our worst decisions? When do we make our when are we the most poorly informed on how we make decisions? It's either when we're scared or when we're angry. And right now, you have some people on one side that are scared out of their minds that they're going to die, and some people on the other side that are angry or scared out of their minds that they're not going to be able to make a living because they've lost their jobs or their businesses. And we have the other people on the other end of the spectrum where they're just angry. And so you have some people that are getting angry and getting violent towards people who aren't scared, and then some people that are getting angry and violent. I read a story this week about a man that got so angry at a Family Dollar or a dollar store, I believe, that he was being required to wear a mask, that he ended up coming back and shooting the security guard. We cannot be so addicted to our freedoms that it costs someone else their life. I'm not saying anybody here is going to shoot anybody. But you can see when we are so consumed with our self-importance, we forget about other people. So my encouragement to you as you celebrate both your American and Christian liberty tomorrow is do so out of love and service. Think of those sacrifices you have to make as servant-hearted sacrifices to care for the souls and the lives of other people. And that doesn't mean you have to bend your convictions. It doesn't mean you have to bend what you believe. It doesn't mean you have to believe what everyone else believes or go to one side of the aisle or the other. You can still exercise caution, or you can still exercise confidence, but do so with in mind that other people actually matter, not just what we think. And being completely honest with you, as if I'm not completely honest usually, but just being, I guess, more transparent is what I'm trying to say. Is that is a struggle for myself because I have very strong opinions about a lot of things. And what I consider to be informed opinions about a lot of things. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of research, that stuff. I feel like I know what I should do. But taking that at the expense of other people is not exercising liberty. It's exercising pride and arrogance. And I encourage you to take a step back and consider others as you remember what the sacrifices have been made for you, because those people did it not just for themselves. They have fought and died on a battlefield for other people, for the future of our country. You have Christian people that have gone through untold stories of just heartache and martyrdom, so that you might experience the grace of Jesus that you're experiencing today. Don't be so self-involved that we miss the forest for the trees. I encourage you, care for others as you seek to exercise your Christian liberty. You still exercise it. Still exercise your Christian liberty, but be others-centered, others-focused. All right, so that is the message for today. Not super long, I hope, anyway. But just something to keep in mind. That's Galatians 5 and 1 Corinthians 6. Yes. I'm not great with the what are those called? References.
Yeah, you're right.
I just, one time, and apparently I'm done. One time at Grace, we had a guy come, Grace University. I went there. It doesn't exist anymore, just in case you know. And it's not because of me, though. I want to be very clear.
Well, no, sorry. Wait. I thought
He's about to blame me. He's like, well, actually, I heard. But at Grace University once, we had a guy come and he was able to quote from memory all of the book of Genesis, just like start to rattle it off. And I thought, that is so cool. I want to do that. And then I started to do that and I thought, I can't do that. That is not something God has gifted me with. So maybe you're great at the scripture memory and the references. Like I can remember things. Like I know in the book of Colossians, it says this,
Right.
but then when you're asking me which chapter, I'm like 3. And then the most embarrassing thing is when you're like chapter 2 of Philemon and they're like, there's one chapter. Oh, I'm in verse 2. So anyway, so I hope you guys are able to have a good Memorial Day weekend, good Memorial Day tomorrow. And I miss you all. I want to see you. We are not actually going to have a contest this week. I sense some contest fatigue setting in. I've gotten a few less submissions each time. Maybe you guys who have won are just kind of resting on your laurels and think you can't win again or something like that. Interestingly enough, I think we've had a different winner every time. We have not had the same, like we've had the same families win, but not the same person.
No, it's crazy.
So I think this is our, 9th or 10th?
That many?
I think it's 9th.
Wow.
I don't know. I could go through the list right now, but that would be really boring live YouTube. Anyway, I think we've gotten about 9 people that have won, all different. We're going to take a break. But part of the reason we're going to take a break is because I got to do this video this week. And then our next contest, starting next week, is going to be a 2-weeker. And since we missed March Madness, we're going to create a video bracket, the YouTube video bracket. And what you're going to do is you are going to fill out a bracket. I'm going to release a bracket. You're going to fill out a bracket, and then you're going to turn it in. And then we're going to compile all of the votes. And whichever people chose the most common one to win of all of them, they will all be a winner.
That's sweet.
So in other words, like, if y'all vote for the same video, like, no, don't collude. Yeah. I need to figure out exactly how we're going to do it. Anyway, but that's part of the reason. Got to make one more video to make sure it's a doable bracket. We'll have a bracket revealing show. That would be funny.
The number 1 seed.
Yes, the number 1 seed. So, yes, is Pastor Josh singing to himself again? All right.
Not the first one, the second.
So we are not going to have a contest this week. Enjoy time with your families. Enjoy not feeling like you have to figure something out to do the contest. I wanted to let everyone know who sent who sent letters in to like the people who are isolated and stuff. I've received multiple thank yous. Just people, some of those people were very, very excited about getting something. So here's an idea. Become a pen pal with one of those people if you'd like. That's not part of a contest. It's just maybe that's something you would enjoy doing. So and some of them are shut in anyway. Like they're even after COVID, they're not coming out. So they might be excited. I got one handwritten one that I'm going to scan and send to the people that they mentioned them by name. So I'm going to send them to those people. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, not going to have a contest this week. Again, participation has been waning a bit. I think we had a little bit of fatigue. We'll circle back next week and get into another contest mode. Once again, though, we will be back next week at 6:30. We'll have the full deal with you, and be sure to check out the stew on Wednesday. On Facebook, it's on YouTube on Wednesdays. It's usually Tuesday afternoons on Spotify and Apple and stuff like that. All right. Anything you want to say? Nope. All right. We are good to go. It's good to see you guys. It's been a shorter time, but we love you. We miss you. And we will catch you on the flip side. I don't even know what that means, but I just said it. All right.
Yeah, I have to type this so I can end this. With the possibility of.
Goodbye. Noah's struggling.
I had.
All right. Bye.
See ya.